Thank you. Lee Anderson.
Thanks, Chair. Thanks for coming today. It's really helpful to us. I find the figure 20% of police, police officers spend 20% of their time actually dealing with crime or investigating crime. What was that figure, say, 20 years ago? An estimate.
It's difficult for me to say, sir, because I wasn't a police.
Higher?
I think it was, sir. Yes, I think it was. Yes.
Okay, so that's interesting. I find that absolutely scandalous.
And that's not. It's not my figure. It's a figure that I've had a conversation with senior officers about.
That's absolutely fine. So would you say that? The public fully expect our police force to be, achieving a figure of much higher than 20% of actually doing the day job. Yet each day or each passing week, we see new crimes being listed, which the police should be investigating, like Twitter crimes, social media crimes, wolf whistling, and things like this. Do you think, out of that 20% of the time they actually spend fighting crime, what sort of percentage of that 20% is actually spent fighting real crime? I mean, proper hardcore crime, like burglary, like rapes, like murders, crimes like that.
It's difficult to say. So what we do know, of course, is that the amount of cases being referred to us by the police is falling. So that would be, in very crude terms, an indication that less is going into that. And there have been a number of academic articles and articles in the newspapers talking about the fall in referrals and the fall in police investigations in certain cases.
Is that because you think they're spending less time actually investigating crime?
I think it isn't. I want to explain the context of that a little bit more. I think the police have been drawn into areas that they perhaps didn't go into before because there are holes in other parts of the system. So talking to police officers, they will often deal with people having a mental health crisis, whereas before there would have been mental health professionals who would have been able to do that. The burden falls onto the police. So when I say that, I don't think it's entirely a choice. In some cases it has been. It was a response to some of the challenges of austerity. But I think they have been pulled into areas that they perhaps didn't have to go into before. And we need to make sure that they have the opportunity, I think, to do what people would think is their core business. And I always say, if you go into a school and ask a child, what does a police officer do? They say they'll catch criminals. But they spend less and less time doing that now. And I think we've got to find, I think it's a very, very difficult job and a great challenge for them. And I think we've got to give them the space and the time to do that. I think what they're doing at the moment, if you look at the figures, they're spending more time looking at more serious crime, and they're referring less of the less serious crime to us.
Okay, so police and prosecutors, how they work together, is there a difference as you travel around the country between different areas?
I think there's definitely geographical variation, and that you can see that in the data. You can see that in the data for referrals. And I
guess what I'm trying to say is, if you see a referral coming from, say, I don't know, my police force in Nottinghamshire, do you think to yourself, this will be a good one, we'll get us teeth into this, there's going to be no missing information, and then you see another area coming, you think, oh, it's them again?
And I think there is an element of local leadership here. Yeah. So where the local leadership puts a really strong focus on criminal justice, undoubtedly, in our experience, we can see when there is that investment and there is that culture of really prioritising criminal justice, that will then flow through into a better quality product coming in from the police.
So can I tell you, if you look at the data on police file quality, it ranges from round about 38% in the Met to 82% in Cambridgeshire. Wow. And there's a grade across there of the 43 police forces. So there is an element of truth in what you say. If you pick up a file in the Met with that file, you will be more likely to expect, I will have to do some more work on that.
That's what we're looking for.
So that's the evidence. Not all Met files are bad. It's an average.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Simon Fell.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you so much for joining us. This is really interesting.